Hello everyone, Whitebox here with another game of Spirit Island. So today I'm going to be trying to take on the Kingdom of England level 6, and doing that with Fathomless Mud of the Swamp, as well as Vengeance as a Burning Plague. I haven't played these spirits together. I'm not sure how they're going to synergize with each other, but I feel like individually each of them is probably okay against England. Now England 6 do need to generate some fear, so that could be a little bit tricky, but I think I'm going to get there. So England 6, I'll go ahead and go through all of its stuff right now. They have the additional loss condition of Proud and Mighty Capital. If 7 or more towns and cities are ever present in a single land, the invaders win. They also have a stage 2 escalation building boom on each board with towns and cities. Build in the land with the most towns and cities, so they get another extra build. The level 1 effect is Indentured Servants Earn Land. Invader build actions affect lands without invaders if they are adjacent to at least 2 towns or cities. Well, it's difficult to just clear out explorers to stop builds against England. Level 2 is Criminals and Malcontents. During setup on each board, add 1 city to land number 1 and 1 town to land number 2. High Immigration is level 3. Put the High Immigration tile on the Invader board to the left of Ravage. Invaders take this build action each Invader phase before ravaging. Cards slide left from Ravage to it, and from it to the discard pile. Remove the tile when the Stage 2 card slides onto it, putting that card in the discard. But Level 4 England is High Immigration full. The extra build tile remains out the entire game instead. Local Autonomy means that towns and cities have an extra health. And then Independent Resolve. During setup, add an additional fear to the fear pool per player in the game. During any invader phase where you resolve no fear cards, perform the build from High Immigration twice. And that has no effect if no card is in the extra build slot. So if I can skip that or the first 2 turns, I don't have to worry about it. So England is very tough. Like I said, I think each of these spirits individually should be okay against England in theory, so I'm going to go ahead and see how that actually plays out in practice. Got everything set up, so I'm going to do my initial explore, and then get going. I've got jungles. Most of the jungles are empty, so that's okay. The nice thing about England is that they start kind of slow. They have 3 stage 1 cards, just like France and Russia. So you have some time to be a little bit greedy and build up, let some lands go to try to accelerate your spirits a little bit. So my thought here, just seeing this jungle, is I'm gonna let C4 go right here. Just let that ravage. I don't have to worry about it. Same with B8. I'll probably just let that ravage as well. Now, England's towns have extra health, so the 1 Dahan left over won't be enough to kill that remaining town. So I might change that up, try to move a Dahan in there. We'll see what actually happens. But I'm going to be a little bit greedy and try to really grow these spirits. They each have two double options, and see what I can do with that. So the nice thing about Fathomless Mud of the Swamp is it can give cards over to Vengeance, which will hopefully help put off the reclaim on Vengeance a little bit. But we'll see how that actually plays out in practice. I do have Intractable Thickets and Thorns, so I could defend that land 8. But I probably have to do something about B4. But that shouldn't be an issue. Okay. Let's do this. So, don't think I have the ability to hit any of my innates on the first turn, or at least the second level of my innate on the first turn. It's only 1 damage, so it's not really going to do a lot against England anyway. So really the fear is going to be the big thing. Yeah, really, until I get the highest level of my innate, I'm not going to be able to kill towns with Fathomless Mud of the Swamp, so I'm going to be relying on some counterattacks. Also just hopefully really accelerating so I can get that 4th level unlocked pretty fast. So with that in mind, I think I'm just going to do 1 card play this turn, I'm pretty sure. And I might do a double growth from top to unlock 2 energy per turn. It's probably okay. It's really going to help out for the rest of the game. I'm probably going to be having to go majors anyway. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's not where I am. I was thinking the other way around. Okay, well, that's alright. In that case, stop them from building a town there, but I don't know that I really care about that. Yeah. I'll just start making my way up north. I get 2 energy. And I'm just going to play Foul Vapors and Fetid Muck. Now with Vengeance as a Burning Plague, I do have to do something about B4, but that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Just because I could have them skip Ravage actions, I guess. That's not too bad. So yeah, I'll probably, let's see, might underplay a little bit. I really want to get a lot of presence out pretty quickly here, so let's go with, oh man, I'll mark my growths. Probably going to be doing a lot of growth too with both spirits, at least at the beginning. I don't know if that's the best strategy, but I feel like against England I can kind of get away with it. So I'm going to go... I think I kind of want to work my way over to the other board just so I can spread out. So let's go here and here. And while I wanted that second card play, I'm actually not going to use it. I'm just going to do 1 card play this turn. And yeah, I think that's fine. So I think I'm all set. I'm going to go into fast powers, which I have none of. So I'm going to go to an event, which doesn't actually happen. And then I'm going to go to the invader phase. So they will build in jungles. So thanks to Otter, they're going to build an explorer over there. Down there. Then we get sands, okay. That's another good one. All the sands are pretty empty. Okay. And that's their turn, so I go into slow powers. I'm going to do Fetid Breath, spreads infection. Add a disease there and generate 1 fear. Reason I'm doing that, I really don't want them to cascade. So if I let some blight go through, that's okay, but I don't want cascades this early. So that was that. I've also got Fetid Vapors and Foul Vapors and Fetid Muck. I always do that the wrong way. So I'm just going to do this land 1 fear. Push these 2 guys. I'll just push them into... I could stack up over in land 3. That's probably okay. Yeah. I'll figure out a way to deal with that later. Okay. And that's that. So, discard cards. And go back to growth. So growth here... I would love to keep doing double growths just to get more and more stuff out on the board. I think it's going to be important. So that can get me to 3 energy per turn with Vengeance, which is not bad. That'll give me Savage Revenge, potentially, or Epidemics Run Rampant. So, well, let's figure out what I want to do on Otter first, on Fathomless Mud. I think I want to do the same thing and grow twice. I won't be able to reach that corner for the defend 5 in B8, so it's not the most important thing in the world, but it would be nice to be able to defend that. So I might need to gain a power card. Let's do growth 3. I'm going to gain a minor. Probably the only minor that I gain this game. Next are going to be majors, I think. Yeah. Alright. My choices are Rain of Blood. That's very good. Quicken the Earth's Struggle. Twilight Fog brings Madness. And Guardian Serpents. So a couple defense cards. I think Rain of Blood's probably the way to go. It's just a good amount of fear, which is going to be really important against England 6. Doesn't have the best elements, but that's okay. It's also free, which is nice. It lets me save up some energy. I get 2. And I'm going to add a presence from bottom. Unlocking 2 card plays. And let's go up here. That way I'll be able to defend over land 8. That means I won't stop builds this turn, but that's okay. So I'd like to do Intractable Thickets and Thorns. So I get 2 energy for presence. And probably Rain of Blood. Could do Exaltation of Tangled Growth, but I think I need the Rain of Blood. Because I want to get enough fear that I can avoid the escalation on England 6 next turn. Okay. Now back over to Vengeance. And I'm not sure that I can get away with doing another growth 2. I would like to. It wouldn't be bad. Could unlock the fire and animal this turn actually, which is alright. But I won't have the energy for both of my cards. So this might be another turn that I have to underplay. Yeah, I really don't want to. Yeah, let's go, let's do growth 3. I'll get an energy. Gain a power card. Again, minor, probably the only minor that I'll gain this game. I've got Dire Metamorphosis. It's a fun one. Call the Bloodshed, Voracious Growth, and Mesmerized Tranquility. None of these are amazing. I don't really want to remove Blight, so Voracious Growth is probably out. 2 damage is not enough, even with the Badlands. Call the Bloodshed's not bad. It's got good elements. Yeah, I think I like that. Mesmerized Tranquility, also very, very good. but I think I'd rather do Call the Bloodshed. Okay, so Call the Bloodshed's not bad, and gather stuff. Okay. Damage per Dahan. Alright, we'll see how that works. Alright, so that was my power card, got my energy, and I can also add a presence. Let's see, let's go from bottom. That'll let me get to 3 card plays next turn, which I think is going to be important. I want to go in here, so I can start clearing that land out. And I'm going to do Strike Low with Sudden Fevers, and probably Call the Bloodshed. Could do Plague Bearers, but I don't think I need to. Okay, cool. So I'm ready for fast powers. First fast power I'm going to use is Intractable Thickets and Thorns, going up into B8. So I'll mark that. Gets me a Fear, and that's defended 5. I've also got Strike Low with Sudden Fevers, which is going into B4. Gets me a Fear. And Invader Skip Ravage actions. I don't quite have enough for Epidemics Run Rampant, so that's okay. Yeah. That's fine for now. Yeah, cool. Cool. So that's all set. My other powers are slow, so I'm going into the Invader phase. We start with an event. I've got Population Rises. On each board, add 1 town to a land with a town or an explorer. Okay, let's go in there. And let's see, it's defended 5, but not enough. Oh wait, I need more on this board. Sure. There. Okay. Then Sand Fever Outbreak. On each board, add 1 disease to the sands or mountains with the most towns and cities. I like that. And Offerings of Pattern and Dance. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its lands gains 1 energy. So that's... I actually don't get anything. I have one for each of them. Oh no, I have 2 here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Not bad. No fear card yet, but that doesn't matter until next turn. Then I get Ravage in Jungles. So up here it's defended 5. Dahan will fight back. I get 1 fear for the town destruction. Skipping right there. Nothing. And this one does Ravage. Kills the Dahan and one of my presents. Which becomes a disease. Alright, then they're going to build in sands. So I'm going to see about that. Let's see. Build. And I think I'm going to let that build go through. It's early enough. There's only 2 buildings, which will get me a fear. Explore mountains. Okay, cool. Next, I start getting into the escalations for England, so that's when it really becomes dangerous. But now I go into slow powers. I've got a couple here. So first I've got Savage Revenge. I can do 1 damage somewhere, which becomes 2 if I have a Sacred Site. Unfortunately, not enough to kill an English, or if I have a Blight there. Not enough to kill an English town, so I might just have to kill an Explorer. Kind of a waste. But it is what it is. So yeah, I'll use that here. Kill that explorer. Then I've got Call the Bloodshed. I'm going to use that over on B3. Oh, no, I messed up. Okay. No, that's alright. Actually, this will work out. So I'm going to gather Dahan into this land. I might have to get my defend card back. We'll see what happens. Don't really want to reclaim, but I do have a range 0 add a presence on reclaim, so it's not too bad with Fathomless Mud. Okay, then I've got Rain of Blood. I can just use that here. It's 3 fear. Gets me 1 away from a fear card, which I definitely need. And I've got Spreading and Dreadful Mire. I've got the 2nd level, so I can move one of my presents. Let's do... here. 1 damage. And 1 fear. Okay, cool. So I think that's all set. I can discard cards and go back to growth. So I do think I'll have to reclaim here with Fathomless Mud, but again, it's not the worst thing in the world. Because you do get to add presence on reclaim. Because I want that defend card back so I can defend B3. And really, that's going to let me probably hit a high level of my innate next turn, so it's not all bad. So let's go for that. I'll unlock 3 energy, and that'll let me get a major next turn, and I'll have plenty of energy to afford it. That's going to go in here. Get 3. I have 2 card plays, so I'm going to do Intractable Thickets and Thorns. Probably Rain of Blood again. Save the rest of these for the slow phase. Let's see, I didn't get into B7 to stop that growth, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't need the extra earth. Okay. Yeah, let's do Foul Vapors and Fetid Muck again. Okay. I get... Alright, and with Vengeance, I don't want to have to reclaim. I want to keep putting presence out so it can get destroyed, so then I can eventually strike back and do a lot of damage. So I might have to do a growth 3 so I can gain a power card and put off my reclaim just a little bit. I have no energy either, but that's okay. So yeah, let's go growth 3. Or I could just do growth 2, get 2 presents out. I'll have to reclaim next turn, but that's okay, I think. And I could either unlock 3 card plays now, so I'll have 3 card plays for next turn, or I can go top to get to the 3 energy. I think I want the 3 card plays now. It's going to be helpful next turn. Go in there. And go in there. Okay, yep, that should be fine. And I play Fiery Vengeance and Plaguebringers. And that's going to be my turn, so I will kind of reset here, go back to growth. I don't really have a good use of Fiery Vengeance, mostly playing it for Savage Revenge, although I could combo those and try to kill a town at least, so not the most efficient, but it is what it is. So actually I could potentially kill a city this turn, so that's good. That's a little bit of fear. So I'm going to destroy one of my presents, or remove one of my destroyed presents from the game, use Fiery Vengeance, inland C1, do 2 damage to that city, and 1 fear. And then I'll be able to do 2 more damage to the city in the slow phase, so I think that'll be alright. I'm going to use Intractable Thickets and Thorns over in B3 to defend 5. And that's it. Let's go to the invader phase. My event this turn is Dahan Trade with the Invaders. Some seek knowledge, others are interested in tools and trade goods. Still others simply curious. All hope to avoid violence, and the invaders seem amenable, at least for now. You can ignore their interest. Dahan do not participate in ravages this turn. Or I can display my wrath at this betrayal. The cost is 2 energy per player, aided by fire, which I have a decent amount of. Each spirit with Dahan in their lands destroys one of them and generates 1 fear. Okay. Or change and help them learn from the enemy. It costs 6 energy per player, aided by air. That's too rich for my blood. Dahan do not participate in ravages this turn. Each player spirit forgets a power card, but from this turn on, each Dahan provides defend 1 in its land. That is cool, but I don't think I can do that. So yeah, let's display my wrath at their betrayal. Costs here, let's see, I have 4 fire out, so it's free. So I have to destroy a Dahan and generate a fear. Alright, Outbreaks shift on each board. Push 1 disease to the adjacent land with the most invaders. Minimum of 1. Okay, cool. That's going to be a lot of damage when I eventually get to use it. And then this one. That's actually okay. Okay. Cool. I get a fear card. Tread carefully. Each player may choose a land with Dahan or adjacent to at least 5 Dahan. Invaders do not ravage there this turn. So I'll do that here. They're not going to ravage in land C6, but the others I'll let ravage. That's fine. Okay. We go to a build in jungle. So they don't build up in B8. That's good. They will build in B4. City. Is there a town there? They'll build in C4 and C1. Alright, Ravage and Sands. Okay, this one's defended 5. They're doing 5 damage. We'll fight back and wipe that land clean. Get me a fear. This one. I'm going to have a pretty good Epidemics run rampant next turn for that land. And that was the Ravage. This one skipped. Build in Mountains. Alright, and do I want that build to go through in B2? I think it's probably best to stop it. Yeah. Just because I don't want to get too close to the England loss condition. Alright, Explore in Sands. With the escalation, so escalation is build in the land with the most towns and cities. So I've got a couple ties. I think I'll let both builds go through. That way I can get 2 fear. Okay. And explore in sands. Okay. This board's looking very ugly, but I kind of expected that and figured I would sacrifice some field position early on so that I can grow faster and hopefully take them out later. We'll see if it works. So now I get to slow powers. I'm going to use Savage Revenge in this land to do 2 damage and kill that city. 2 fear. Just 2 fear more and I'll avoid England's 6 condition. I've got Foul Vapors and Fetid Muck. I'll use that. Let's see, they're going to do a double build in sands this turn. That's not great. So if I can get the sands cleared out a little bit, that might be best. Maybe. So I'll use that here. I've got Spreading and Dreadful Mire. I've got the 1st and 2nd level. So I can do 1 damage somewhere. Not really useful. But potentially could get into the sand so I can at least stop them from building a ton of cities and stuff. So let's go here. I think, yeah, I guess that's right. I can probably let that one go, actually. C2 is a bigger issue. So I'll go in there. Okay. That's that. It does 1 damage. So, yeah. And 1 fear. And I have Plague Bearers. So 1 fear if invaders are present. I'm probably going to use that over in B5 so I can start pushing stuff out of there. So for each disease, I can push 2 explorers, towns, or Tahan. So I'll push that. And I may move the disease along with it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that there. Okay. So I think that's okay. I do 1 fear for that. So yeah, I'm all set. Discard cards. And go back to growth. So I do have to reclaim this turn on Vengeance. Do I want a major or minor? Vengeance, I don't have a lot of energy yet. So I probably should do a minor. Yeah, let's do a minor with Vengeance. And hopefully that'll let me put off the reclaim longer in the future. So I've got Steam Vents. It's okay. Disorienting Landscape, Elemental Boon, and Cycles of Time and Tide. I do like Cycles of Time and Tide. Removing Blight could end up being useful here on the coast. Adding Dahan could be good on the coast. Steam Vents is okay. Not really. So yeah, I'm between Cycles of Time and Tide and Elemental Boon. Elemental Boon's great. Problem is these 2 spirits don't share a lot of energy, so, or a lot of elements, so giving elements over to Fathomless Mud, maybe not the best. Although Fathomless Mud is going to be picking up a major soon, so Elemental Boon could help hit the threshold on it. So let's go with that. Just trying to plan for the future a little bit. And I got to reclaim, so now I get to play some cards and hopefully hit both of these innates. So I want to make sure to play 3 cards with Animal so I can get Economics run rampant. And that'll let me do a lot of damage into C2. So, not Fiery Vengeance, but probably strike low with Sudden Fevers might be okay. Well, call the Bloodshed. Fetid Breath spreads infection. And I could do Plague Bearers. I don't think I have to stop any Ravages this turn, I'll just let them go through. So Plague Bearers might be better than Strike Low with Sudden Fevers, and it's going to save some energy. Let's do those. I get 2 energy. And spend it all right away. But this is going to let me hit both my innates, and hopefully do a lot of damage this turn. We'll see. Okay, that's good. So now I go over to Mud. And what does Mud want to do? Probably gain a major. I've got a lot of energy. I think I need to at this point. I'm starting to get a lot of things on the board. Getting the 3 card plays, though, wouldn't be too bad. But 2 card plays, one of them being a major, it's probably okay too. So let's go grow 3. Gain 2 energy. And yeah, I'm gonna go for a major. Hopefully that wasn't loud. Alright, major choices. I've got Jungle Hungers, very, very good against England, good elements. That's probably going to be the choice here. To figure out more even lighting. But that is the Jungle Hungers. I've got Winds of Rust and Atrophy. It's okay. Vengeance of the Dead. And Power Storm. As much as I love Power Storm, I think this is looking like a Jungle Hungers play. And I can't threshold it this turn, but on future turns I will be able to. So that's pretty good against England. Let's grab that. I'm going to forget Foul Vapors and Fetid Muck. It's okay, but it's not super useful against England. I think I need Rain of Blood more. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I think Rain of Blood's gonna help me a little bit more. Okay. Get rid of these. And I can probably save the Jungle Hungers until next turn, when I'll be able to threshold it and destroy a city as well. Yeah, I don't think I need it this turn, so that's fine. So all I need to threshold it actually is Elemental Boons, so I can play any of my other cards here and it'll be fine. Let's add a presence. I'm going to do into here. Going from bottom so I can get to 3 card plays sooner. Let's see. Don't have any energy left on Vengeance, so using Exaltation of Tangled Growth's not going to be super useful. So let's go Open Shifting Waterways and Rain of Blood. Get 3 energy. Really, after this turn, I'm probably going to be Reclaim Looping and just playing Jungle Hungers every turn. But for this turn, it's not super useful. It's still useful, but it could be better. Okay, that's that. So I think I'm all set. So let's go into Fast Powers. Fast Powers, I have Epidemics Run Rampant, so I can do 1 damage per disease in a land, which is quite a bit. That'll let me do 5 damage here, so I can kill a city. And probably want to damage the other city so I can kill it with Savage Revenge. I'm only going to do 1 damage with Savage Revenge, so I'll do a damage to a town as well. 2 fear. And I think everything else is slow, so go to an event. Investigation of Dangers. I'm in Terra level 1, so on each board add 1 explorer to a land without invaders or Dahan. It doesn't matter too much against England, so. But that doesn't happen on board B because there is no such land. It will happen here. Prey on the Unwary. Each beast destroys 1 explorer. Add 1 beast to a board without one. Rouse the spirits. Each spirit with at least 3 Dahan amongst lands may use a slow power now instead of later. I don't think either spirit meets that requirement. So, yeah. Alright, fear card. During the next normal build, skip the lowest numbered land matching the invader card on each board. So normal builds, not the immigration builds. I'll keep that there. Okay, so let's go to the invaders. So they will build in sands. I think I will... Well, I'll let that build go through. There. Got a fear. There. Here. Well, I'll let the build go through. I have 2 presents from Otter, so they're just going to build explorers. Fine. City. Ravage in mountains. So they will ravage up here. There. Alright, Blighted Island card. Downward Spiral. At the start of each invader phase, each spirit destroys 1 of their presents. That won't be too bad, especially with Vengeance. It's okay. Okay, so that's all set. Now here, nothing happens. They will blight that land. Build in sands again. This time, I'll stop that build. Here, I'll let it go through again. And explore wetlands with escalation. I'll do my explore first this time, and then the escalation. Don't know that the order matters. Okay, so escalation is build in the land with the most towns and cities on each board. So that's going to be B2. Do I want to let that go through? Not really, because they're going to build there again next turn. So we'll remove 1 of those. And here, I'll let them build. There's a lot of explorers, though. It's not great. Okay, so that's fine. Although with Plague Bearers, I can push a lot of stuff out. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Cool. So I think I'm going to do Call the Bloodshed over here in B3. Do 4 damage and kill that city. Then I've got a bunch of options here. I do have Savage Revenge, so I can do 1 damage somewhere, which would be 2 damage. I'll probably just use it to clean up this town for fear. I've got Rain of Blood, doesn't really matter where I use that. I'll use it here. It's 3 fear. So getting close to Terror level 2, which will be helpful. So that was Rain of Blood. I still have Open Shifting Waterways. See, they're going to Ravage in Sands next turn. So let's do Open Shifting Waterways here. Gather 1. I get 1 fear and 1 damage, which turns into 2 damage thanks to Vengeance. Or no, Vengeance's actions treat them, not other spirits. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, let's do it here instead. Kill that guy. And I can get a presence in there to stop the build, really. Okay, that's fine. So I've used Call the Bloodshed. I haven't used Fetid Breath or Plague Bringers or Spreading and Dreadful Mire yet. So you want to keep those guys there. Let's do Spreading and Dreadful Mire. Oh, let me take back Open Shifting Waterways. So that's that fear back. Because instead, I'm going to use Spreading and Dreadful Mire. Pull one of those presents into here. That does 1 fear, 1 damage. I can also use that to push a Dahan. I don't think I need to. Then I'll Open Shifting Waterways. I might try to have my defense. I don't. So I want to get that Dahan out of there. I've lost too many already. So I'll Open Shifting Waterways, gather 2 Dahan in here. One fear and 1 damage. Now I have Plague Bearers and Fetid Breath spreads infection. So I've got a difficult choice here, because I could stop the Ravage in B5 by doing that, or I could push out a lot of that stuff from C2. So it's really a matter of how much damage I can do with Epidemic Run Rampant next turn in C2, which is going to be quite a bit. I can get to 3 energy per turn. I'll be able to hit that, so I'll be able to do 5 damage there. It's not enough to kill everything. So I might be eating a Cascade anyway. I don't love that. I'll have Fiery Vengeance, so that will supplement it. Yeah, I'll leave that there. I'll see what happens. So instead, I'm going to use Fetid Breath spreads infection up here. Add a disease, 1 fear, and then Plague Bearers on that same land. Push this guy into here, and I'll bring the disease along with it. Well, I could do it in C7. That's okay. Oh, I can't always skip the Ravage here in C2, so that's not too bad. Okay, yeah, I think I'm good with that. So those are all my slow powers. I'm gonna do. Alright, so this turn, I've got Ravage and Sands, which isn't really a big deal if I can let a couple things go. I do have to worry. I'm not really close to an England loss condition either, so, and I've got my Fear card, so I can just kind of grow this turn, worry about the wetlands a little bit, and see what happens with that. I'm not in a terrible position, honestly. So I want to make sure that I've got some guys adjacent. I think I'm in pretty good shape. I'll have a decent jungle hungers this turn. Okay, yeah. Let's do it. So I can probably go for gaining another power card. I could gain a minor, just to get a third card play. I don't really need it. I could gain another major, I guess. I've got a ton of energy. I'm gonna have even more. Or I could use Exaltation of Tangled Growth to get a major. Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So I'm actually gonna get a minor. So I get 2 energy. You know, I have so much energy right now. Maybe I will just get a major. Yeah, let's do it. No need to play conservatively right now. I can just go all in. So I've got Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm, Pent-Up Calamities, great, Accelerated Rot, and Sweep into the Sea. So I would like stuff with water, so Accelerated Rot's actually not too bad, but I'm not going to be able to threshold it, and it's really not a great card if it's not thresholded. Pent-Up Calamity, always a great card. Adding Disease against England is fantastic, especially when I'm paired with Vengeance as a Burning Plague. So that's probably going to be the way to go. Sweep into the Sea does destroy, so that's not bad. But it's another one that I won't be able to threshold, at least anytime soon. So Pent-Up Calamity could potentially threshold next turn. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's get Pent-Up Calamity. I'm just going to forget Rain of Blood. I don't think I need it anymore. Was really good, though. 6 fear, I think, through this game. Take Pent-Up Calamity. I'm going to take from bottom to unlock 3 card plays. And where do I want this guy? Yeah, I don't have a great place for him. Let's go here. Yeah, I should go back to the other board. So I can do stuff next turn. No, I'll be able to stop the build. So that's okay. That's a good place, I think, for me. Okay, so that's not bad. I get 3 more energy here. And I'm going to play all my cards. So I've got Pent-Up Calamity, the Jungle Hungers, which pair very nicely element-wise, and Exaltation of Tangled Growth. I'm playing that for the first time. So I actually hit the threshold on Jungle Hungers even without needing extra elements, which is great. So I can use those for other things. No thresholded Pent-Up Calamity just yet, but that's coming soon. So that's pretty good. Maybe... No, I think I like where I am. I've got enough targets. No. Going in there. I'll have better targets for Jungle Hungers if I go in there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's that. Let's go with Vengeance is a Burning Plague. So I don't need to gain a power card. I could do a double Presence. Get some more disease out on the board, get some more blight out on the board. It's not too bad. I am quite poor, so I would need to get to 3 energy per turn, I think. And that's probably the way to go anyway, is to get to 3 energy per turn. I can play both of these and hit the thresholds. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to go Growth 2. I'm going to go in here, I think twice. Yeah. Then play all my cards. Get 3 energy, which goes straight towards paying for those. And I'm all set. Good to go. So let's do fast powers. I'm going to start with Elemental Boon, and I think I need to give an animal. Let's see what threshold I can hit with Shredding and Dreadful Mire. I'll give a water. And if I do a fire, I'll hit the second level on Savage Revenge, so that's worth it. So that all works out pretty well. And now I can go into Fiery Vengeance. Not sure the best place to use that. It's only still not good damage to kill explorers. So I'll skip that. Let's do Epidemics Run Rampant first. That's going into C2. It's going to do 5 damage there thanks to the Blight. So I can kill a city for 2 fear. And damage town. Yeah. Then I'll use Fiery Vengeance in that same land. Well, actually, I don't know that I want to push towards... I want to save that fear. I don't want to push it over and accidentally get another fear card in the fast phase. I think I'll be alright. So yeah, I'll use Fiery Vengeance here. 1 fear and 1 damage. Kill that town. Then I'll strike low with Sudden Fevers here. So they skip that Ravage action. And it's possible that the event gives me a fear, which would mess me up a little bit. I'll have to generate a lot of fear in the slow phase, but I think I can. I'll get a bunch. And then I have Pent Up Calamity. So Pent Up Calamity. I definitely want to add stuff. Let's go in there. Alright, so those are all my fast powers. I'm going to go to an event. I've got my typo here of interesting discoveries. In stage 2, so increasing aggression. Invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging. It kind of messes me up in B3, but I do have a fear card, so we'll see if that helps. On each board, add 1 disease to the jungle or wetlands with the most towns and cities. I've gotten like 3 add disease events, which has been really nice. This is jungle or wetlands with the most towns and cities. So it's there and here. And then 10 the land. On each board, remove 1 blight from a land with at least 2 Dahan. Don't think... Oh, actually... What happens there? It's like I planned that. Definitely did. Alright, cool. So I save that fear. I'll be able to avoid an England 6 again next game, or next turn. Fear card. Defend 3 in all coastal lands. So that's going to save B3. Good. Oh, I forgot my immigration slows last turn. I should have skipped the lowest numbered land, matching the invader card on each board. That would have been this land. There should be one less explorer there. And this land, which means there wouldn't have been a town there. But I think it's too late for me to take that back because I already used Pent-Up Calamity on it, so I'm gonna let it be, and yeah, that's my mistake for missing that fear card. Okay, so build in mountains. I'll let the build go through over in B2. Okay. Ravage and Sands. Skipped. Okay. Build in wetlands. And explore coastal, which avoids the escalation, so that's good. Okay, cool. So that's all set. Let's go to slow powers. So I have Jungle Hungers thresholded. I think I just want to go ahead and use it over in B2 now. Or I could wait until next turn, I guess. Use it in a wetland instead. Yeah. Might be better. So yeah, I'll use it over in B1. I'll save it for B2 until next turn, and I think that'll be alright. Not the best use of it. I wanted to get a bunch of towns, but it still clears that out. Gets me 3 fear, and it'll be good next turn. I'm going to spend 2 energy to gain a power card, and I think I'm actually going to gain a minor, one that will hopefully help me hit Pent-Up Calamity a little bit easier thresholded. I do have a lot of energy, but not infinite energy. And I just need something with fire. So I've got Purifying Flame. That's going to be quite good, actually. And I've got Entrancing Apparitions, Portents of Disaster, and Flow Down River, Blow Down Wind. I think I like Purifying Flame here. There's a lot of blight on the board, so getting rid of some is going to be good. Even though I kind of want it for vengeance, I don't want all of it. And it's got fire, so yeah, let's go with that. I can't afford to gain an energy with vengeance, unfortunately. More slow powers here. I have Savage Revenge. I have the 2nd level now, so I can do 3 damage. So if I use that along with Blight, it's 4 damage, so I will kill this city. For 2 fear. And I've got Spreading in Dreadful Mire. Let's go there. That's 1 fear. Okay, that's all my cards, so I'm good to go. I'll discard. And then go back to growth. Both spirits are in a reclaim this turn. So let's do Fathomless Mud of the Swamp first. It's reclaiming, it's gaining an energy. Let's actually, let me go for the water. Go here. And I think I want to do the same thing. Jungle Hunger's Pent-Up Calamity and probably Purifying Flame this time. Yeah. Get 3 energy. Alright. So those are both thresholded, as long as I get a fire, which I should be able to give with Vengeance. So Vengeance is reclaiming as well, gets 1 energy, gets a power card. Vengeance is still poor, so let's get another minor. I wanted to go majors, just hasn't worked out, and that's okay. So I've got Uncanny Melting, Delusions of Danger, neither of which has fire or animal, so not great. Sear Anger into the Wildlands. I love adding Badlands, that's good. Or Call to Trade. Call to Trade is an amazing card, but I don't think I need it right now. So I'm going to Sear Anger into the Wildlands. And I'm going to be destroying quite a bit this turn. Gonna have to stop that build, that's okay. So B2 is going to be mostly cleared out. Not entirely, but a lot of it will be. I do want to do Elemental Boon, so I can get an extra fire over to Fathomless Mud of the Swamp. Call to Bloodshed's not bad. I can clear out whatever town gets built over in B3. They're going to double build there, so actually I can kill the city with it, which is good. So Call to Bloodshed. And do I need to stop any ravages this turn? I don't think I do. I can let them go. Yeah, I mean, it's more blight, but, you know, I've got a lot of blight already, so it's alright. So I will not worry about striking low with sudden fevers. Plague Bearers is probably okay. Can get rid of a lot of stuff here with that, potentially. Actually, not that much. See, they'll move a few things in C2, but that's okay, because I can deal with it next turn. Yeah, so I should be able to strike low with Sudden Fevers here next turn, so that'll be fine. I can even let the build go through, so I don't really have to worry about that too much. Yeah, so I'm not in a bad spot. So I could Sear Anger into the Wildlands. Let's see, 2 damage, 3 damage. Yeah, it's okay. That'll give me another fire, so I'll have a pretty good Savage Revenge from this. Yeah, let's do it. It's free as well, so it's going to let me save a little bit of energy, which is great, because I've been very poor this game on on Vengeance's Burning Plague. So yeah, I think I'm in a good spot. So let's see what happens. So let's go with fast powers. I'm going to give some elements over to Fathomless Mud of the Swamp. It's going to get a fire for sure. And an animal, I need those. And the other one's kind of up for grabs. I think, maybe, let's see, what level of this do I have? I have 1 water. I probably need another water. Yeah. Well, I'll at least have the second level of that so I can get Aether. Okay, so that was Elemental Boon. I have Epidemics from Rampant, just 3 animal, so 1 damage per disease. So I'm going to use that in B. I guess I could just clear everything out of C2. Not going to get Anti-Fear, but that's okay. It's probably fine. So I'll just wipe that out. Then I have Pent-Up Calamity with the Threshold. That lets me add a bunch of tokens, or remove a bunch of tokens. That power would actually be even better on Vengeance, because I get the Badlands there, but that's okay. So I'll start adding more stuff, I think. I could save a Ravage somewhere, which might be okay. Don't worry about it next turn. Yeah. I don't really have an immediate need to do damage somewhere. I guess B4 is kind of growing as an issue, but you know, I can wait a little bit on that. Jungle's not up right now, so instead I'll just stop a Ravage from happening. Well, there's not going to be a counterattack there. I don't love it. Yeah. I don't need to get another Fear card this turn. The slow phase, I'm going to get a bunch of Fear, so it'll actually get me close to 1. Yeah, let's just do 6 damage over in this land. So I'll kill 2 towns from that. And since I have a Threshold, the 2 diseases get added back on, and I don't have to worry about moving them. That's 2 more Fear for killing those 2 towns. Alright, maybe there could have been a better use of that, but that's what I'm going with. Okay, so now I go to the event. Harvest Bounty, Harvest Dust. If the island is healthy, which it is not, so if the island is blighted on each board, push 1 town from a land with 2 or more towns and cities to a land without towns and cities. Okay, yeah, that's fine, I think. See, I can't push into that. That's got 5. It's going to build too much. Okay. Let's go. Oh, without towns and cities. Okay. Okay. Then I've got Explorer's Blunder. On each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. Doesn't happen. And Coordinated Strikes in each land with 3 or more to Han, 2 damage, and defend 2. So 3 or more to Han. So that's just here. And defend 2. Fear card, Terra level 2. Plan for departure. Each player may gather 1 explorer or town into a coastal land to defend 2 in all coastal lands. I can empty this back out by gathering that guy there. Not really a good option otherwise. Yeah, I can't go there. Okay, I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that as is. Okay. Yeah, cool. Alright, so get to the invader phase. So they're going to build in sands. Let's see, I'll let that build go through there this time. Alright, here I will stop the build this time. And here I'll let it go through. I like that I can let it go through and get fear for them adding an explorer. It's a cool synergy between these 2 spirits, actually. So that was that. Next is Ravage and Wetlands. So I'll get one up here, which is fine. Empty, 1 damage, nothing there. Okay. Okay. Build in coastal. I will stop. I'll let the build go through. I'll have to stop the next one though, but that's okay. I had to stop one, so that one will go through. Yeah. Here, I'll let it go through. I've actually only got 1 presence on that board. I need to be careful. I need presence on both boards in order to do this. Yeah, here, I'll get Explorer, stop that, and there, I'll let it go through. Okay, jungles. Jungles is bound to come up sometime. With the escalation. So for that escalation, I'll go ahead and build here. And I'll stop that build. Because I have to. I would lose otherwise. Alright, so that's good. And yeah, now I'm ready for slow powers. So I'm going to use Jungle Hungers from this land on this land, killing 3 towns, both explorers, and 1 city. And that's 5 fear, so pretty close to another fear card. I'm also going to use Call the Bloodshed over on this land, 4 damage. Gets me another fear card. I'm going to Sear Anger into the wildlands somewhere. Probably B4. Well, let's see. I have the 2nd level here, so I can do 3 damage with Savage Revenge. So if I add a Badlands somewhere, could potentially kill a city. Well, I can already kill a city with that, so it's not super useful. Okay. Yeah, let's still do it here. Then I'll use Savage Revenge over in B4. It's gonna do 4 damage, 5 damage. So I'll kill a city and an explorer. Two more fear. I have Purifying Flame. Let's remove this blight. Well, actually, I probably have a better blight that I can remove, because I can use Spreading in Dreadful Mire somewhere. Yeah. So Spreading in Dreadful Mire, I have the 2nd level, so I'm gonna squelch my way over into B4, doing 1 damage there, which becomes 2 next to the Badlands. Also a fear. I guess I could take out the town with that, but I would rather just take out this blight with Purifying Flame, so I can let that ravage next turn and I don't have to worry about it. So I've used almost everything. I've used everything. I've used Savage Revenge, so I'm all set. Okay, cool. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good position this game. There's not really any land aside from this one that's threatening the England 6, or the England Special Loss condition, and I can clear that out pretty well next turn with Jungle Hungers again. So yeah, I'm not in a bad position at all. So let's go ahead and discard cards. And go back to growth. I think I'm fine reclaiming again with Fathomless Mud of the Swamp. Still helps me progress. So let's reclaim. And that way I can do Jungle Hungers again, which is going to be very important. I get to add a presence as well. Let's go from probably top, because I don't have infinite energy, so getting to 4 energy per turn will be pretty good. So yeah, let's go top, go there, get 4 energy. We'll do the Jungle Hungers. I can probably save Pent-Up Calamity. It really hasn't done as much as I expected so far, but it will be good again in the future, so I can save it. So with that not needed, I can do Intractable Thickets and Thorns, do some defense. They're going to build then Ravage and B1, which is not great, but I can stop that, I guess. Alright, I've already thresholded Jungle Hungers, so I don't really need to worry about it. So let's go with probably Exaltation of Tangled Growth. Just because it's free. Let's see, how am I doing element-wise for my innate? I have 2 moon, I have 2 water, and 2 earth. So if I play another water, I'll have the 2nd level here. Won't be able to get the 3rd level, but that's okay, I think. So yeah, I'll do Exaltation. Well, yeah, it's free. I might not even use the ability, but I'll do Exaltation of Tangled Growth again. Save energy up a little bit, and actually I can probably avoid a reclaim next turn, so yeah, that'll be fine. C3 is an issue, but maybe I'll be able to do something with Vengeance for that. So with Vengeance, what do I want to do? think I want to strike low with sudden fevers. Let's see, which growth option makes sense? I do have 2 energy, which is great. Not poor for once. I could go to 4 card plays, and then I would definitely be poor. So I probably want to go for 4 energy, and I could finally gain a major, I think, on Vengeance. Let's do it. So I'll go over there, gain an energy, gain a major. My choices are Spill Bitterness into the Earth. That's fun. Potentially could Threshold it. Actually, this turn. Yeah, that's pretty good. Huh. Okay. Unrelenting Growth. It's a great card, but it's not going to be useful this game. I'm already too late into it. Forest of Living Obsidian is nice. Could I Threshold that? I think I could. This turn, maybe? No, not this turn. Next turn, I could Threshold Forest of Living Obsidian. Paralyzing Fright, always great. I can't Threshold it this turn, but that's fine, because I could do it next turn. 4 Fear, skip all actions. I do need a Sacred Site, but I can get one pretty easily. So I'm between Paralyzing Fright and Forest of Living Obsidian. I think Spill Bitterness, as much as it would be fun. I think I'm a little too late in the game for that. Maybe not. I don't know. It's tempting. I think there's maybe too much blight on the board for me to really get a good use out of it. What order does this happen in? Yeah, I can't make that work. Alright, Paralyzing Fright's probably the play. I don't have a lot of Sacred Sites. Really, I don't have a lot of presence on the board, so Forest of Living Obsidian's not really great. So yeah, I think Paralyzing Fright is the way to go. I will forget. Probably Sear Anger into the Wildlands. Call Bloodshed's been pretty good. No, there's not a lot of Dahan left on the board. Elements-wise, though, it's nice. Yeah, I'll forget Sear Anger. I get 3 energy, but I get to place a presence first. Presence or a disease. I need a Sacred Site for Paralyzing Fright, though. Let's do that. Alright, cool. I get 4 energy. I'm finally not poor on Vengeance, although I'm about to be. So I'll do Paralyzing Fright, Fiery Vengeance, and strike low with Sudden Fevers. I think that's okay. Let's see, what thresholds do I get? Actually, not much. Just 1 damage with this, but I think that's alright. If I did Plague Bearers, I would get both instead of Fiery Vengeance. But it doesn't really change much, so that's okay. Alright, cool. I'm fine with that. So let's go into fast powers. I'm going to use Fiery Vengeance, remove one of my presents from the game, do 1 damage here, which turns into 3 thanks to a Badlands and a Blight, which kills that town, doing 2 fear. Paralyzing Fright. Do I want to save the presence or save the Dahan? It stops 2 actions if I use it over in B1. I do have 2 fear cards. So I don't know which one's best. I'm going to defend 4 here. Well, I could let that one go. There will be enough pawn fighting back that it's okay. Yeah. So let's defend that one instead. That is 1 fear. Paralyzing Fright's going over into B1. 4 fear. Let's make a 3rd Terror level 2 fear card. And I don't have Epidemics run rampant, so I'm good. I'm going to an event. Strip the Land Bare. Towns do +1 damage when ravaged. Oh, and I'm also striking low with sudden fevers right here. 1 extra fear. Alright, Resourceful. Strip the Land Bare. Towns do +1 damage when ravaging. After a ravage action adds Blight, remove 1 explorer and 1 town from the ravaging land. Okay. Virulence among close-packed homes. On each board, add 1 disease to the inland land with most towns and cities. That's here. And sorry guys, I think I'm still good. Yeah. So I added disease to the inland lands with the most towns and cities. I think I did that on both boards. I've gotten very lucky with extra disease from events this game. Then Offerings of Story and Season, each spirit with at least 3 to haunt among its lands, which is neither of them, so that doesn't happen. Okay. 3 fear cards, Terror level 2. First one here is Sense of Dread. On each board, remove 1 explorer or town from a land matching a ravage card. Coastal is ravaging, so I guess I'll remove this town. It's fine. Each player will replace 1 town with an explorer in a coastal land. That'll be good next turn there. Here. And actually, I think each player... I got to remove a town from a land matching a ravage card from each land, so I'm going to do this one as well. And the last fear card. And then explorers are reluctant, skip the next normal explorer. But during the next invader phase, draw an additional explorer card. Okay, so I get a turn of reprieve, really, from England. Then we go to build in wetlands. They're skipping all actions there. I'll let that build go through there, because I'll be able to deal with it okay with the disease. Build there. Build there. And then Ravaging Coastal. So that skipped. That ravages. Nothing there. Defended 5. Nothing, and that skipped. Okay. Build in jungle. Now stage 3. So now I get to explore jungles and sands. Jungles are in... Oh wait, sorry, they're not exploring. I'm supposed to skip that. I'm going to shuffle that back in. Because I have a good fear card. But the double explore next turn will hurt. That's going to be an issue. So maybe I can push for Terror level 3 and get a couple of Terror level 3 cards. I think I might be able to. Okay, cool. So slow powers coming up. I have Savage Revenge, just the first level, I think. Yeah, just the first level, so only 1 damage somewhere. It's not super useful. I guess knowing that, I would have let the build go through here. Because I can use Savage Revenge there and do 3 damage. To kill the town. Just extra fear, it's fine. So that's Savage Revenge. Then I have Jungle Hungers. Using it in jungle would be helpful, but instead I think I'm going to use it over in C7 because it's a lot more destruction. So that's going to be 5 fear. Getting close to Terra level 3, but there are still a decent number of cities on the board. So I also have Exaltation of Tangled Growth. I could add some cards, but I'm not going to. Really just played it for the elements. I have Spreading and Dreadful Mire at the 3rd level, finally, so I can do 2 damage somewhere. Still not super helpful, but it lets me get around. See, they're building coastal. Yeah, let's go in here. That'll be a good candidate for Jungle Hungers next turn. Do 2 damage and 2 fear. Unless I'm skipping Jungle Hungers. We'll see. Okay. I think that's everything, so I'm going to discard cards and go back to growth. Alright, and I wanted to push off the Reclaim with Fathomless Mud of the Swamp. I might be able to. Getting Jungle Hungers back would be nice, but I think I can probably go without it. That'll let me get some extra energy, an extra card. It's not bad, potentially. See, if I do that, if I go growth 3, I'll have 9 energy, so I could get another major if I do that. And that might be worthwhile, because this turn is going to be relatively slow. I do need some defense just over there in lands C4. But I can probably get it from something else. So yeah, let's try it. I'm gonna go growth 3 and get a major. My options are Vanish Softly Away, Forgotten by All. It's pretty good actually, removing damaged invaders. Potentially very, very good. And then the threshold for that is also excellent, though I don't think that I can hit it. Draw towards the Consuming Void is fun, but probably not going to happen. Settle into Hunting Grounds. Actually making my presence not being able to move is problematic, but I would be able to threshold that. And with the threshold, it's probably worth it. Yeah, let's do Settle into Hunting Grounds. I'll just forget Exaltation of Tangled Growth. Actually, no, I'll forget Open Shifting Waterways. It's not as useful. Keep Exaltation. Open Shifting Waterways is going away. I get 2 energy. Get to add a presence. I'll keep adding from top to get to that 5 energy. Although getting to 4 card plays next turn is probably not bad. I think I'll stick with this. They're going to build Coastal, so let's have them build another Explorer there. And, or I could do it here. Let's do there. Okay. This will actually have an interesting kind of thing happen. Okay. So 5 energy. I'll play my cards. So Settle into Hunting Grounds, Purifying Flame, and Pent Up Calamity. And on Vengeance, I need to reclaim, which is fine. 1 energy. Gain a power card. It's just going to be a minor. Well, I'm going to get 6 energy this turn. I don't need Paralyzing Fright, so I can shoot for a major, see if I get a good one. Let's see. Smothering Infestation. Rapid Wings of Sunlights. Usually not bad. The Wounded Wild turns on its assailants is nice. Yeah, I like that. And Focus the Lens Anguish is also great in this particular game. I would be able to threshold it as well. So I'm between these two, both of which are really good. Let's see, the way that the blade is kind of spread out on the board, I don't have a great place to use Focus the Lens Anguish. I need to get up into B8 sometime with one of these spirits. And I would be able to threshold Wounded Wild as well. It's a little bit trickier. Those 3... No, I wouldn't be able to threshold it actually, because the 3 plant. Let's go Focus the Lens Anguish. Let's try that. I'll just forget. Fetid Breath spreads infection. I don't think that I'm going to need that again this game. See, I get 4 energy. Most of that is going to pay for this. I also need to play Elemental Boon and Fiery Vengeance, so that's fine. So that'll be okay. I've got a decent spread across the map, so I think that's okay. Fortunately, I just don't have a really great target for Focus the Lens Anguish, but we'll see what happens. I think it'll be alright. There'll be a lot of fear, so that's good. Okay, so yeah, I'm fine with all that. Let's go into fast powers. Elemental Boon, sending elements over to Fathomless Mud. It's going to send a sun and an animal, and probably a fire. Yeah, and a fire. Okay. I have Epidemics from Rampant. Only the... Actually, I don't have Epidemics from Rampant, so I can't use that. So let's see. With Fathomless Mud of the Swamp, I'm going to use Settle into Hunting Grounds. So my presence may count as Badlands and Beasts, but my presence cannot move. I have that thresholded, so I can also do 2 fear and 2 damage in one of my lands. I'm going to do that right here. Well, maybe here. Yeah, that'll be 4 damage there. Now I needed to skip stuff there. No, I think it's okay. I think it'll work out. Yeah. So let's do the 4 damage here. That's fine. That's 2 fear for the power and 1 for killing the town. Then I'm going to do Pent Up Calamity here, and there's an interesting interaction here. Because my presence count as Badlands and Beasts, I can remove them to count towards this, and I have this thresholded, so they'll just get added back. So I can do 6 damage there, which is actually 8, because I have 2 Badlands. So, yeah, let's do 4, 7, 8, that's 3 fear. I guess I'll have to hope that I get a fear card that deals with one of those explorers. Which there are probably a good number of them, so that's okay. So those are my fast powers. Well, I do have Fiery Vengeance, so that will help. So I'll just use Fiery Vengeance here. Kill those guys. One fear. Okay, so that was Fiery Vengeance. So that took care of that problem. Yeah, I think I'm good. So let's go to an event. Hardworking settlers. The latest round of settlers are regrettably diligent, focused, and curious. You may act cautiously in the background. On each board, push up to Dudahan, add one town to a land without town, and immediately ravage in the land with the most invaders that ratches a ravage card. Or I can create unnerving distractions at the cost of piquing their interest. Ravage cards skip up to one matching land on each board. Players choose which, one fear per player. Remove the bottommost Stage 2 and Stage 3 cards in the Invader deck from the game. I think I'm fine with that. I'm in Stage 3, so it only removes a Stage 3 card. And I get one fear per player, which is important, because that's going to push me into Terror Level 3 for this turn. And Ravage cards skip up to one matching land on each board, so pretty good. Beast Prey on the injured. This turn, beasts also count as badlands. On each board, destroy a damaged invader in a land with beasts. That's fine. Leave that there. 2 fear cards, Terror Level 3 now. Each player chooses a different land and removes up to 2 health worth of invaders per presence there. So yeah, not super useful, unfortunately. I guess I can. And that. Alright, on each board, remove one explorer or town from any land, or remove one city from a land with Badlands, Wilds, or Dahan. Yes, remove that city. And that city. Let's flee from dangerous lands. Pretty good at Terror Level 3. So I don't have a lot of cities left on the board. We'll see what happens. I've got Build and Coastal. Ravage. I get to skip the lowest numbered land on each board, matching the Ravage card, or skip one, so I'll skip that and skip that. It's fine. And then I get 2 Explorer cards. First one is going to be Jungles and Wetlands. Second one, Sands and Wetlands. So wetlands are a big problem. Okay. That's that. Now I go to slow powers. I do have Focused Lands Anguish, and where do I want to use that? So unfortunately range restrictions are making this a little funky. Probably there is the best one. Yeah. Okay. 2 damage per blight, so that's going to be 8 damage. So wipes that land out. 2 fear for destroying the 2 towns, and then 5 fear because it destroyed towns and cities. That's pretty good. I've got Purifying Flame. And Savage Revenge. Just the first level of Savage Revenge, though. And there's not anywhere I can use that, so that's fine. So just Purifying Flame. Sands and Wetlands are an issue, so let's remove a blight from one of those. We'll do that. That guy there. We'll do this one. Okay. Alright, I think I have time for one more turn before I have to call it, so let's see if I can win or if I'm gonna have to come back a little bit later. So resetting cards, going back to growth. I don't have a Ravage this turn, but I have a lot of builds. Which means I'm probably not going to be able to win a Terra level 3 victory. It's not too far off, but I'm probably going to have to push for a Fear victory. I'm going to be reclaiming on Fathomless Mud of the Swamp. Get to add a presence somewhere. Oh, I did have Spreading and Dreadful Mire, I guess. Let's see, which cards did I do? Pent-Up Calamity, Purifying Flame. So yeah, I didn't have any water, so yeah, that's fine. I had one water. So I could move a presence, I guess, from a sacred site, but I don't need to do that anywhere. It's still good where I am. Okay. Let's add that one presence into here. And I'm going to push for a Fear victory. Not too far off. So I've got time for it as well. Not a lot of time, only a couple turns left. But I'm getting there. I think that Jungle Hungers is going to be the play again. And do I want to do a Pent-Up Calamity? Probably. Let's see, B6 is kind of an issue. It's going to build twice. So Pent-Up Calamity there is okay. I don't need to defend anywhere. I'm going to get double build in jungle, double build in wetlands. It's not going to lose me the game, so I've still got a little bit of time left. So really, I want fear. Lots and lots of fear. So I can do 6 damage there, kill 2 towns. That's not a lot of fear. Oh, you know what? Pent-Up Calamity, for each token removed, it does fear and damage. So I removed 2 tokens last turn, so I should have two more. I forgot it did extra fear when you remove the tokens. I was just playing it for damage. So I missed that a couple turns ago as well, but I'll just redo it for last turn. So with that in mind, I'll get a decent amount of fear from this. And Purifying Flame, probably. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's see if I can push to another fear card for this turn. 3 fear cards away from winning, which is 29 fear away. So I've still got a long way to go. With Vengeance, I don't have to reclaim. I would like to do Paralyzing Fright, but I don't have the elements to hit the threshold. That's a problem. So I can probably hold it until next turn when I have more energy. I think that's fine. Instead, do Call the Bloodshed and Plaguebringers and gain a power card so I can get this up. Now, do I want to gain a Miner so I can save up energy for next turn? I think I do. So let's go with this. So I want a Threshold Paralyzing Fright for the 8 fear. For 4 energy. Not play it twice. So I've got Inflame the Fires of Lights, great elements. I'll hit the threshold for it, so that's nice. Right through Sacrifice, a little too late. Shore Seeds with Hatred is nice. Push up to 2 towns. I like Inflame the Fires of Light, so I'm taking that. And get 4 energy. I'll play these 3 cards. And I get pretty good elements here, so that's not too bad. I also get to add a presence or a disease. I think probably, what's the range? Just 1. Let's go. Disease. Just in case, because that could build up quick. Okay. So that's that. Now I go into fast powers. So I have Pent-Up Calamity I'm going to use over in this land to do 6 damage. I don't have it thresholded, so if I remove those tokens, they're just going to go away. Oh, that's an issue. So I might not play Pent-Up Calamity this turn. I might save it until next turn. So I need those elements. So maybe settle into Hunting Grounds instead. I won't have that thresholded, but yeah, that actually makes a big difference. Yeah, I might underplay actually this turn. I don't really have a good option, so Pent-Up Calamity is not going to do a whole lot. So I'm gonna save that energy, save the card, and then I can play Pent-Up Calamity next turn. I think that's the way to go. Okay. I do have Epidemics Run Rampant at the 2nd level for the first time, so that's 2 damage per disease, which is not too bad. Range is just 1 though, so don't have a lot of good targets at the moment. I guess instead of doing my growth into there, or into there, I can do 4 damage there. Just clear out that land. Alright, everything else is slow, so go into an event. We've got Xenophobia. When ravaging in lands with Dahan, each individual invader, well, they're not ravaging, so that doesn't even matter. Beast chase off homesteaders. On each board, push up to 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with beasts. Sure. At their gates demanding redress, 2 fear per Dahan, or 2 fear per land with Dahan and cities. I don't think there is one, unfortunately. Yeah. Alright, Theological Strife. Each player adds 1 strife in a land with presence. Then each invader with strife deals damage to other invaders in its land. Alright, again, not amazing. I've kind of cleared out where my presents are. Let's see there. Yeah, and I don't have a good candidate really for vengeance. I'll just do it into that land. Actually, I'll do it in here. Alright, so not a very good Theological Strife. It can usually be better. Build in jungles. Alright, then build in jungles and wetlands. Alright, and then build in sands and wetlands. Okay, and suddenly what looked like a clean board is no longer so clean. And then explore jungles and sands. Alright, I just want fear. So much fear. Okay, they are doing a lot of ravages next turn though, so a little risky. So let's see what I can do. Going into slow powers, I'm going to use Call to Bloodshed here to do 4 damage. That's another fear card. That means I'm 20 fear away from winning this game. Jungle Hungers. Let's see, what's the most fear that I can get for that? Probably C5. Oh, B1 is the same, so let's go B1. That's 4 fear. Oh, I'm gonna have to finish up here soon. I have Purifying Flame, which I'll use here. It's 1 damage per blight, which there's a lot of. So that's 1 fear. Inflame the Fires of Life. I can do both those things. I'm going to add a disease somewhere, and a strife, and get a fear. It's okay, bud. Okay. Plague Bearers. Let's do that here. So that was Plague Bearers. I've used Call the Bloodshed. I need Savage Revenge. So let's use that in C2. I have the 2nd level, so I do 3 damage, so I can do that. That's a fear. And I also don't have that. So that is that turn. I'm going to discard cards. And then go back to growth. But I'm going to have to take a break right there, and I will come back to this game and hopefully get a win. It's going to be very close, so we'll see how this goes. But I'll be back soon. Alright, I'm back everyone, fresh off of hosting my D&D session for tonight, and gonna try to close this game out. So my end game right now is to get 12 fear. If I get 12 fear, get through these last 2 fear cards, I win, and I think I've got that in the fast phase with the cards that I have here. So, for safety's sake, I want to threshold Paralyzing Fright, because that's going to be 8 of the fear that I need. So I need another Earth for that. I could do Growth 3, but it's not a guarantee that I'm going to get a card with Earth. So I'm going to do Growth 1 to reclaim, get 1 energy. I'll just gain a minor. And made the right choice to reclaim, because none of these cards have Earth. So none of these gave fear in the fast phase. I guess Blood Draws Predators technically could, so I'll go ahead and do Blood Draws Predators. It's a good card for this spirit anyway. It has fire and animal, so those are kind of what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and take Blood Draws Predators. Then I get 4 energy. I'm not going to play Blood Draws Predators, but in theory it would be a good card here. I have 3 card plays. I'm going to play Paralyzing Fright, Strike Low with Sudden Fevers, and Elemental Boon. I think that's all my energy. So that worked out okay. Then I come over here to my little otter. I don't have to reclaim. I've actually got some decent cards here that I can use without reclaiming. That should generate a good amount of fear, get the last fear that I need. So I just need energy, really. I'm gonna have 8, which actually is all that I need anyway, so I'll just, I guess, gain a power card, get some extra energy just for safety. I think I've got this in the bag, but who knows? So I want to be 100% sure. So of these cards, I'm not going to play one most likely. Reach and Grasp, though, is not bad. Target spirit gets +2 range with all their powers. Would have been nice to have that earlier in the game, but I'm going to take that. And then get right to it. So this was my hand I reclaimed, so that's fine. Get 2 energy, which I already did, then 5 more energy. Let's do it this way. Alright, I have 3 card plays, so I'm going to do Settle into Hunting Grounds, Pent Up Calamity, and Intractable Thickets and Thorns, just extra fear. So. And I just noticed these lights are out. That's why it's different. 1 second, let me fix this. Okay. Maybe that's too bright now, but the lighting is fixed, so I at least have this illuminated for the end of this game. Alright. So everything's paid for. I'm going to go straight into fast powers. First I'll use Paralyzing Fright. 2 range from a Sacred Site. I only have 1 Sacred Site, so I guess I'll just do it here. Well, do it somewhere where there are invader actions happening. So yeah, there, it's fine. Oh. I'll do it here. So that's 8 fear. Because I'm going to have the threshold. And then in order to hit that threshold, I do have to use Elemental Boon first. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I need an Earth. There's an Earth going over here. I'm going to do a Fire. That way I threshold Pent Up Calamity. And an Animal. So I threshold Settle into Hunting Grounds. So Elemental Boon ended up being fantastic this game. It let me hit a lot of thresholds on the majors that I got with Fathomless Mud of the Swamp. So that was a great pickup. Now I'm just 4 fear away from winning, so I can just kind of clean things up here. I'll use Strike Low with Sudden Fevers somewhere. It gets me 1 fear. Pent Up Calamity, I'll go ahead and use over inland. B6 with Threshold. It removes 2 tokens and then adds them back because I thresholded it, which does 2 fear and 6 damage. Which gets me my last fear card, and that wins me the game right away. Don't even have to use Settle into Hunting Grounds or Intractable Thickets and Thorns. So this was going to be like a 20 fear fast phase this turn, which is pretty good. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was England 6. I think the first England 6 game that I've had on this channel as a win. England 6 is tough for me still. I think each of these spirits individually is pretty good against England. The synergy was kind of there. I expected to use Exaltation of Tangled Growth more to give cards over to Vengeance, but Vengeance was just poor energy-wise all game, so I didn't really have the opportunity to do that. But it ended up working out okay. I was happy with it. Alright, I'm back. This was a 62-point game. 67 if you go with England as a difficulty 10 or difficulty 11 adversary. Not too bad. I did realize as I was scoring this up that I had forgotten about Downward Spiral. At the start of each invader phase, I should have been destroying one of my presents. I don't remember how many turns that had been out. At least 2, possibly 3. So maybe you can kind of put a little asterisk on this game since I had forgotten about that. Though really, I had plenty of presents on the board, And with Vengeance, destroying presence is actually not a bad thing because you get more and more disease out there. So um, even forgetting that, I don't think it would have stopped me from winning this game. It's a bad effect, but I did okay in terms of board control for a while until that last turn. So I think I still would have won even if I had played Downward Spiral correctly. When I go back and watch this, I'll see how many presents I should have actually lost. But I don't think it was 5, so I think I would be okay with that. If it is 5, well, and I apologize for missing that. Yeah, either way, this was a great game. I'm not the biggest fan of playing against England. They're pretty tough. These games are a slog. I think this recording is going to be quite long, maybe even longer than the Habsburg game I had a couple weeks ago. So I'm looking forward to doing a Sweden game next that will be a lot quicker, I think. But either way, England does give you a chance to get into the late game with your spirits. I've got almost all of my presents off the board from both of these spirits. Getting into major powers on each of them. Got to do a lot of things. It was a fun game. It was a good time. So I still really enjoy Fathomless Mud of the Swamp. The special rule is great against England. Just having them build explorers instead of towns and cities is fantastic. And the way that it interacts with the special rule on Vengeance is really good. If I just let those builds go through, I get Fear, and they build an explorer. It's awesome, actually. So in that regard, the interaction between these two spirits was pretty nice. So hopefully you enjoyed this game. I know I don't have a lot of games against England on here, but I'll try to do more. And next week I'll probably come back. I think my plan is to do a game with Mists, because I don't have a lot of good Mist games on here. Mists against Sweden 6, and see if I can take them down. After that, I'll move into Scotland 6, just so I have a complete series here of beating all the level 6 adversaries in a row, and then I'll mix it up, do some other content with Spirit Island for a couple weeks until I start going back to level 6 adversaries. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see everyone next week.